Hello and welcome to another Coin Metrics video. Today I'm joined by Tanay. Hello Tanay.
Hey Matthias, nice to be on with you.
So tell me first, what do you do at Coin Metrics?
Sure. So I'm a research analyst here at Coinmetrics, and I work with our market data and network data to make sense of stuff happening in crypto markets as well as activity happening on blockchains. And we have a weekly state of the network newsletter, which goes into the depths of these blockchains as well as markets and gives you weekly insights as well as state of the market, which is a view into the crypto markets.
Cool, let's take a look at that.
Of course. So I'll switch to our most recent state of the network, which was essentially going into the current market environment and the forces that are kind of shaping it. Mainly in the current market environment, as we know, crypto markets have been weighed down generally by macro pressures as well as crypto-specific news as well, positive and negative both. And we're somewhat in a unique position right now where it's useful to take a look at where we are in the current market cycle and compare it to past, contextualize it with past cycles as well.
And for that, my understanding is that today we're going to check out one very specific metric, right?
Yes, that's correct. And that metric is called MVRV. It's essentially a valuation metric that helps investors or participants understand whether an asset is overvalued or undervalued. So yeah, we'll dive into what this metric means and how we can even look at it on our charting tool.
Cool. So our clients can get this same data and produce the same chart, obviously, if they like.
Exactly, pretty easily as well. So I'll just hop over to our coverage tool and type in MVRV. And so we have two different flavors of MVRV. One of them is based off of our current supply metric, and the other one is based on a free float supply metric. But we'll be focusing on current supply, since I know you've already gone into the depths of free float supply.
Sure. And that that is already a ratio, right? So it compares something to something else. So explain that a little bit.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So it's a ratio measuring the market cap of Bitcoin, which is essentially the price of Bitcoin multiplied by its current supply, divided by the realized market cap, which is essentially the aggregate cost basis at which all Bitcoins were last moved on chain. So it gives you like a sense of Bitcoin's market value relative to its aggregate cost basis.
Do we have that data going back like to the beginning of history, so to speak?
Yeah, pretty much back to the entire history of Bitcoin. And so we can put this metric to use through like our formula builder tool, which essentially brings these metrics to life. And just to show you what the metrics we're plotting are, we can open up this formula window here, and the orange line here essentially is Bitcoin's MVRV using the current supply metric. And we're able to also add a constant line at the level 1 and level 4, which are essentially levels that have historically indicated overvaluation or undervaluation for Bitcoin.
So in a sense, some technical analysis.
Yeah, it's basically giving you like a benchmark or a framework to look back at the market cycles.
Got it.
And for convenience, we also plot Bitcoin's price on the right axis. And this is what we essentially get from all the way back in 2011 to where we are today.
Okay, so 1 second. So on the right-hand side goes up all the way to 100, and that is then the price. Okay. And then that orange wave in the middle, that's the metric that we're discussing today.
Exactly. And what we can see here, and just to sort of explain what this metric is showing you, is as we can see Bitcoin's price move higher over time. We can see this MVRV metric go through cycles. And what it's essentially showing is when Bitcoin's market cap has inflated away as compared to its aggregate cost basis or realized cap, we see conditions where market may be overheated or may prompt investors to sell Bitcoin at that moment in time.
Okay, I got it now. Especially then in the middle of 2018, it's pretty clear how that once that metric hits the 4, then kind of people go like, oh, it's time to take profit here.
Exactly. And you can clearly see how when price moved to its high in 2017 bull market to about 20,000, we can see MVRV just cross 4. And then we can see price go back down as you said, people take profits in those overheated conditions. Similarly, on the flip side, you can see as price goes down, MVRV is coming back down as Bitcoin's market cap reduces. And we can see the same thing take place in the 2021 bull market when Bitcoin hit about 67,000 and then retreated from there again. And that brings us to today.
Yeah, so that obviously we're not giving financial advice here, but what is this curve telling us right now?
Yeah, so right now, obviously, this cycle we're in a pretty unique position. We've sort of ran up beyond the previous all-time high when we crossed 67,000 early in March, and at that point we saw MVRV peak at about 2.7. Similarly, after the U.S. elections, we saw Bitcoin cross 100,000, and MVRV peaked again across around 2.6, 2.7 mark, and today we're kind of around the 1.9 level, which kind of indicates that we're in a mid-cycle phase, and that there's still some room for MVRV to grow higher.
Cool. And so if people want to know more, where should they go?
They should definitely check out our website, coinmetrics.io, as well as coinmetrics.substack for our research reports. And keep on the lookout for metrics like these, because we could obviously look back at them in a different light in a few years' time, potentially.
Very cool. Well, thanks a lot, Tanay.
Thank you.
See you next time.